best life yet. Getting stronger and living longer. Let's figure out the questions for ya. I need a little conversation. You need a little conversation. When you need a little inspiration, tune into the conversation. Talk about.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Miss something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
The Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale was developed in 1971 by civil engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson, who was the director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was introduced to the public in 1973 and began to be widely used a year later. Inspired by the Richter scale that measures earthquakes, the Saffir-Simpson scale was divided into 5 categories. Originally, the Saffir-Simpson scale also included predicted barometric pressures associated with the various wind speeds, as well as the relative kinds of damage that could be anticipated. However, because those predictions were found to be
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, the tourism minister placing his full support behind the final phase of the Baha Mar Resort. The Minister of Labor weighing in on the appointment of the new acting Labor Director, John Pinder. And a new group of teachers joined the noble profession today after completing 4 years of study.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. As the final phase of the Baha Mar Resort prepares to open, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, is giving his full support to the property despite the opinions he has expressed in the past. Cleopatra Murphy tells us tonight why the minister says today the property has his and government's full backing.
Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, who was once a major critic of the Baha Mar Resort, is now lauding the multi-billion-dollar property as the final phase, the Rosewood, opens this evening. De Aguilar once claimed resort owner Chow Tai Fook was unsuitable to invest in the Bahamas when the company made its bid after former developer Sarkis Merlion filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in June 2015, and after a court battle that ultimately saw Chow Tai Fook gain ownership of the property.
It's been a long journey, and those 200 plus rooms that are coming on stream today, it's wonderful news. It's a 5-star product. The top of the line, and so we're very excited today that finally the final piece of the Baha Mar cake is falling into place many billions and many years later.
De Aguilar acknowledges his position has changed, with the resort employing more than 4,000 Bahamians and that number expected to increase to more than 5,000. He says government's priority is to get Bahamians working.
When I offered those views, I was the director of a company that was run by the initial investor. And I was supportive of those views. But now I'm the Minister of Tourism, and I'm not looking after I'm looking out for all Bahamians. That asset has been built, concessions have been given. It's now time, no matter what my feelings were, to get that hotel open and Bahamians employed.
He says government is currently facilitating the process of Baha Mar coming fully on stream, and at the end of the day, Bahamians do not care about the politics of it, but are happy with the economic opportunity the 5-hotel property presents. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
For the past 6 months, Baha Mar's SLS guests have been receiving stylish luxury service thanks to its world-class amenities. The 299-room resort is SLL's first outside of the United States and the second to open under the Baha Mar brand. General Manager Richard Alexander says since opening day, it's been a whirlwind experience for him and the more than 600 associates he leads. But he says it's well worth it to know that their guests are satisfied.
We have the wildlife sanctuary. We have an abundance of restaurants to choose from. We have Katsuya, which is our Japanese restaurant. We have an Italian restaurant called Filia, which is by the award-winning Miami chef, Michael Schwartz. And we have Clio, our restaurant over here, which is Eastern Mediterranean. And then we have the Day Club, which is Privilege Pool, where people can enjoy the pool to music and a great DJ, a great vibe. And if you're the kind of person who likes to stay up late at night and go to a nightclub, there's no better place than Bond, our nightclub.
Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer says the opposition naysayers will continue to downplay the progress the country is making because they don't see it benefiting them. However, he says the facts speak for itself. Under the FNM, Culmer says Bahamians are seeing steps to reel in wasteful spending and spike in tourism. As a result, he says travel groups like Expedia have recognized the Bahamas. He says the economy is growing and new companies are moving to the Bahamas. Unemployment is starting to decline and people are finding secure jobs to support themselves and their families. Culmer says full recovery will take time and each day they are seeing more and more positive progress. He says that progress must continue regardless of efforts to talk down the country by the PLP naysayers. He says the PLP had a chance to lead and failed. Minister of Labor Senator the Honorable Dion Fowlkes addressed the appointment of former Bahamas Public Services Union President John Pinder as a new Director of Labor today, stating it is a position Pinder will serve in well. Former Director of Labor Robert Farquharson has exited the post to take on the post of Executive Manager at the Ministry of Labor, and Fowlkes extended congratulations to both men who began in their new capacities today.
He will be working directly with our permanent secretary and also directly with me as minister. I want to thank Mr. Farquharson for the excellent job that he has done over the years. He's made significant improvement at the department and also with respect to labor relations in the country. I also want to wish Mr. John Pinder well, and I look forward to working closely with him.
As members of the nearly 5,000-member strong union prepare to head to the polls tomorrow to determine the union's new president, the presidential candidate says unions in the Bahamas are facing attacks on various fronts, but says they must continue to advocate for workers' rights in the country.
Well, we find that persons are trying to have unions deregistered. They are making it difficult for members or officers of the union to be able to operate. You're finding that they're trying to limit the scope of what the unions do. And for us, what we intend to do is do a better job at PR and things that we would do for our members and for the organized and the country at large. Because we believe that union has its place. There are social issues that we have to speak to. There are moral issues that we have to speak to. And even, believe it or not, there are some religious things that we need to speak to.
And still to come, a new group of teachers are ready to head to the classrooms. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. We're your news leader.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
31-year-old Ricardo Burrows was arraigned before Magistrate Swain in court number 11 on Tuesday afternoon with unlawful sexual intercourse with a 10-year-old girl between January 1st through February 2nd of this year here in New Providence. Burrows was not required to enter a plea to that charge. Additionally, Magistrate Swain told the courts that Burrows was also being charged with one count of indecent assault on a female between January 1st and February 8th of this year, reportedly placing his hand on her dress and attempting to touch her genitals. Bail was denied and Burrows was asked to apply for bail in the Supreme Court. Burrows was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and returns to court on August 9th. A vehicle overturned on Farrington Road this morning in the height of rush hour traffic. ZNS News was on the scene just after the truck flipped, turning completely on its top, leaving the lone occupant shaken. He emerged from the wreck shaken but visibly okay. A new group of teachers officially joined the profession today following a commissioning ceremony. The teachers graduated after completing a 4-year course of study at the University of the Bahamas. Fern Carey tells us tonight that the new teachers are planning to move forward in the pursuit of excellence.
Over 100 University of the Bahamas trained teachers officially joined the ranks of that noble profession following a commissioning ceremony at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. University of the Bahamas Dr. Linda Davis urged the new teachers to make a difference in the classroom, both individually and collectively.
Reflect upon and take seriously the difference you can make in your classroom and beyond the reach of your classroom. My newly minted to be credentialed students, you have much to live up to. Your work is just begun. Yours is a huge task, whether in the early childhood environment, primary or secondary.
It was then time for the much anticipated pinning of the graduates and a pledge by the new teachers to promote equity in education, to give strong support to all students, and to uphold the principle and standards of that noble profession. Stay tuned for more details in our 7 p.m. newscast. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Students who took steps to improve their reading skills were honored during a special assembly at AF Senior High School on Friday. On hand for the occasion, Minister of State for Legal Affairs and former AF Adderley alumnus Ellsworth Johnson. He lauded the honorees for their hard work.
I love the fact that we are investing in our greatest resource in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That is our young people, that we're giving back, that we're investing in our future. We're now at the beginning of the fourth revolution, industrial revolution, where they're using bitcoins and a lot of different things to move society ahead, you guys are going to do very well. Let nobody discourage you from who or what you want to legitimately be.
With 45% of Bahamian children either overweight or obese, a group of volunteers are taking part in a Caribbean initiative to combat childhood obesity in the country. Crystal Darling reports.
Statistics reveal that the Bahamas is #1 in the Caribbean for childhood obesity. And with obesity leading to a number of ailments later on in life, the Cancer Society of the Bahamas Healthy Lifestyles team launched a campaign in hopes of raising awareness and combating the serious medical condition among youngsters. Team member Philip Swan talks about their goal.
One of our goals is to promote healthy lifestyles in children to prevent and end childhood obesity and therefore halt the rise of non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and cancer.
HALT members Dr. Catherine Conliffe and Dr. LaShawn McKenzie shared some of their research and experiences from dealing with children.
Non-communicable diseases in children are actually way more prevalent than we thought them to be. And most of these direct effects are from the obesogenic environment. So it's not inherited, it's not big boned. The kids are fat and they're suffering because of it.
Overweight and obese kids were sometimes up to 3 times more likely to develop diabetes. And so in that study, we found pre-diabetics and diabetics already. And so in those children, the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages were 4 to 6 times more than in our children who were normal weight as well. They were very sedentary, and they had poor choices when it came to vegetables and fruits.
Wife of the Prime Minister, Patricia Minnis, is also on board and signed the Healthy Caribbean Coalition online petition called Too Much Junk.
Spouses of Caribbean Leaders Association Network, of which I am a part, the emphasis is on health and wellness of women and adolescents in particular. I've become a part of HALT in helping the promotion of the health and wellness of women and adolescents.
The Healthy Lifestyles team is encouraging all citizens to get involved in the campaign and to go online to toomuchjunk.org to sign the petition. I'm Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. Sports is next. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, the news leader.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Yeah, child, I can ride this right on this rim. Y'all guess what? What? I ain't got no spare.
Did they just get a jump from the hacker? Nah, this flat. Guess what? If you back around the corner of Wolf Road, there's a tire too.
I go in there right now.
No one looking nosy, Shirley.
You just shut up in my head in the back there. Stop making nerves.
Hey, sweet boy, give me one of them tires. And while you at it, check this back.
Epic Wolf Road now has tires too. Why not replace your tires on the weekend? Wolf Road is open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit us today.
Rugs, carpet tiles, ceramic tiles, floor mats, even vinyl flooring. Find them all at Wright's Carpet Masters, located on Bernard Road. Let them cater to your home or your office needs, and you can choose from a variety of carpets, floor mats, cashmere, oriental rugs, and area rugs. And if you can't come to us, we will bring the business to you, offering free estimates and deliveries to the Family Islands. Wright's Carpet Masters will get it right for you. Located on Bernard Road, telephone number 364-1260.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo.
Red jeans, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Food. It is as essential as air is to breathe and water is to drink. Food is life. But where does our food come from? The Bahamas has more than 2,000 farmers, but it's hardly enough to keep up with our growing population. Or is it? We traveled the nation to find out the answers to the questions everyone is asking. Can we feed ourselves?
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Here's your first look at sports for Tuesday. The Prefontaine Classic is the next big international track and field meet on the calendar. And Golden Girl Shauna Miller-Weibo is expected to headline the women's 400 meters. Miller-Weibo will be in the field of runners inclusive of IAAF World Champion Phyllis Francis and IAAF World Indoor Champion Courtney Okolo. Allison Felix will also run in the event. It will mark the first time Felix and Miller-Weibo go head-to-head since the 2016 Olympic Games, where Miller-Weibo won the gold. The Prefontaine Classic is set for May 25th and May 26th. Miller-Weibo ran a new world record on Sunday at the Adidas Boston Boost Games. She ran 16.23 seconds to win the 150-meter straight, erasing the previous record set by American Tori Bowe last year. Also in the field on Sunday was Michelle Lee Ayo of Trinidad and Tobago, who was second, and Sasha Lee Forbes of Jamaica came in third. Dipping below the 20 seconds barrier to win the 200-meter straight at the Adidas Boston Boost Games on Sunday was national record holder Stephen Gardner. The world's leader in the men's 400 meters, Gardner ran 19.88 seconds for the win. Evolve Gym is the new home for the Mako Swim Club. On Saturday, the club hosted its first swim meet at the Betty Kenning Kelly Aquatic Center. Owner of Evolve Gym, Tangerine Curry Donick, was pleased to be a part of a successful meet.
That's my number one goal, is to try to change the culture, try to get an understanding that it starts from our youth. And when our youth is fit and they have a better understanding of better nutrition and health, then they grow up and they instill that into their children. And hopefully we could have a huge shift in the statistics that we have right now.
Kicking in a win in the Bahamas Flag Football League was the Ashore Wind Warhawks. Head coach Tito Bethel shrugged off the wings, saying it was just another day on the field.
Not to make any excuses, we was missing a couple of key defenders, but all in all, just probably a little poor execution on one or two players that allowed them to get scores to get down the field. Other than that, we pretty much had the control of the game.
Seems to be a pretty key injury out there for you guys. They talk a little bit about that.
Oh, very key. That's our starting running back. We'll have to make some adjustments, but that is a major loss.
Practice continues for the women's national basketball team that is preparing for their regional showing in Suriname next month. First Vice President in the Bahamas Basketball Federation, Mario Bulllegs, likes what he sees thus far.
Well, the team mesh is yet to come because for years we've been trying to get Waltia to play, and she's finally committed. You look at her and the Asia Grant out in the 4 and the 5. I'm just using my scenario from what I'm seeing so far. And then you're talking about Ashley Moss, and then you got Valerie Nesbitt, like I say, and Pamela Battle. When you see talking about those type of players, they're quick, they're athletic, they're big, and can get up and down the floor. I think with Waltia, you have one of the biggest players in the Caribbean, will be there to protect the lane for them, and knowing Wade Watson's style of play. If they put a little bit of pressure on the ball and Waltia is there to protect the rim, that can cause for some fast break and easy baskets for the style of play that I think they want to play. And then at the half court, you got Leasia Grant, who was unstoppable in the last Caribbean games, and now you got Waltia to work along with her side by side. So you look at a high-low offense, anything can work for them. I'm just speaking out of my head, but I know Watson. He'll find the right offense that will be able to suit the girls.
It's win or go home in the New Providence Women's Basketball Association for the Cheetahs, who will have to claw their way out of the 2-games hole they are now in with the Bomber G Operators, who leads the series 2-0. Game 3 will be played tonight at the Donald Davis Gym. The women's national volleyball team will also head to Suriname for their regional qualifier. Now that the collegiate players are home, head coach Covance Mortimer can add to his playlist.
We're actually hoping for the full 12 roster spots. And we'll go from there. So I leave it up to the Federation executive to go ahead and decide if we can go ahead. But as far as me being a coach, I'm looking for a full 12 roster spot.
On the field tonight in the New Providence Softball Association are Sunshine Auto Wildcats playing Alive Strikers. Chances Mighty Mitts will take on BTC Elite Warriors. That's your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Over the next 5 years, we will bring significant reform, change, and transformation to the Bahamas, including to a number of long-standing problems. During the threat of major hurricanes last year, we acted decisively. We mobilized the largest evacuation in Bahamian history. We warned our people in advance. We were prepared. We will again be prepared this hurricane season. I also assure Ragged Islanders that we are still working to restore that island community, including with a comprehensive renewable energy program.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Welcome, madam, to the Royal Blue Tavern. My name is Leslie, and I will be taking exceptional care of you. Service has been a part of my life for a very long time. I get a sense of satisfaction knowing that my guests came, experienced Bahamian cuisine, fine service, just the shared joy that they get from my service is enough satisfaction for me.
In regional news this Tuesday, a vice president of Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate Limited, a Beijing-based development company, assured delegates at the Caribbean Investment Summit 2018 last week that its 5-star Ramada Inn Citizenship by Investment project in St. Kitts will be opened by December of this year. With the rainy season in Trinidad and Tobago beginning next month, the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean Sub-Regional Headquarters for the Caribbean is taking its damage and loss assessment training to Tobago from the 23rd through the 25th of May. The training course will provide participants with an increased capacity and awareness for disaster risk reduction on the island. And after footage of 2 Grenadians being held hostage by kidnappers in Venezuela went viral on social media in April, one of the victims is reported to be back in Grenadian territory. Marlon Garraway, one of the victims in the kidnapping video, was seen on video on social media on Friday the 11th with friends happy and celebrating his return to Grenada.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, we have this area of low pressure in the Caribbean Sea just to the east of Belize. At the moment, it has about a 0% chance of development, and that is because of the very strong wind shearing taking place in the mid and upper atmosphere. But that could all change as we approach the weekend. Reason being, we expect that high pressure to push more towards the east, and that will allow this low pressure to move northward uninhibited, and that will bump up the rain probability about 40% either on Friday or Saturday. But outside of our studios just now, we're under cloudy skies for the most part. Your temperature 81 degrees, relative humidity 73%. The winds are out of the east-southeast at 12 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars. That is 30.06 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at 1 at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil, and that's a look at news in the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. But don't go anywhere. News from the north is up next.
A young man killed in an early morning traffic accident. Hurricane preparedness, the focus in the Southern District. And the Yellow Elder organization hosting its annual ball this weekend.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shashina Rolf-Arkeson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, a young man is dead tonight, the victim of a traffic accident in the Western District. Now, he is the 4th person to die on the streets of Grand Bahama within the past week. Our Talia Hall spoke with grieving family members at the scene of that accident this morning. The fatal accident taking place on the main road in the Deadman's Reef community. The vehicle, a silver Honda Fit, was found in nearby bushes, the impact splitting the car in half, and the body of the driver, a young resident of West Grand Bahama, was trapped in the twisted wreckage. Many family members and friends were on the scene, emotional and in a state of shock. Now, officer in charge of traffic, Superintendent Jeremy Henfield, says police received a phone call shortly after 6 this morning.
On arrival, the police would have found a single car that would have ran off the road onto the southern shoulder. It appeared to have crashed into one of the utility poles here. It appeared to be a single lone driver in the vehicle, a male occupant who was injured severely and would have succumbed to his injuries here at the scene of this accident. The fire department would have assisted us with the jaws of life in assisting in getting the body out of this crash.
The victim is said to be Devon Poitier, also known as Vonnie. He is believed to be in his early 20s. Family member Clarice Newton says she had just finished her morning exercise routine and was one of the first persons to see the horrific scene.
Just saw this car up in the bushes, thinking that it's a rental or something, and reversing back because we saw someone standing out there that we knew. And when we came back, he's like, "It ain't good. It's Vonnie." And I'm like, "Who?" And he's like, "This Vonnie." He's like, you joking, right? And he's like, "No." So I just pull off to go try get help, and it's just bad from there. Vonnie is indescribable. I mean, everyone loves him.
Samantha Colton says when she received the devastating news, she did not understand what had taken place.
When I came in here, I went straight to the car
and I saw his lifeless body laying there, that's when it really hit me that he's gone, you know, like, he's gone. He's gone. In fact, right now, it still feels so surreal. It almost feels like a bad dream.
Superintendent Henfield is once again asking motorists to drive with caution and care.
If you feel that you're unable to make it, then, try to call a friend, or maybe just try to pull to the side of the street, maybe until you kind of catch yourself in a nice littered area, that is, until you're able to safely get to wherever you're going. We've lost yet another one. Just basically 3 crashes in a week. We would have lost 4 persons on the streets of Grand Bahama, which is far, far too much.
As a result of the horrific accident, traffic was backed up for quite a while, but once the body was removed, the traffic flow was restored. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
Thanks, Natalia. Well, Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini extending sympathy to the victim's family. Pakisha Parker Edgecombe noting that Poitier was a striving young man, well-mannered, well-loved, and known by many, particularly in West End. She says while the authorities are not certain at this time as to what may have caused the fatal accident, she says as a community, long-standing issues involving the streets in the West must be addressed. She says too many lives are being lost, and as an MP, with the help of stakeholders, they are committed to put in place road safety measures while spreading the message of road safety. Well, today's deadly accident comes as police are investigating what has turned out to be a double fatality on the Warren J. Lavarity Highway. 2 men died after sustaining injuries in a traffic mishap on that major thoroughfare almost a week ago. Tonight, residents of the West are speaking out about the issue of street lights and what role poor lighting may have played in that particular accident. Kimberly Mullings has more on this report.
The Warren J. Lavarity Highway, like Queens Highway, heading into West Grand Bahama, are both considered problematic for all road users. While speed may be a contributing factor in some traffic accidents, poor lighting is said to have been the driving force behind some accidents as well. ZNS News took to the streets to get the views of residents about lighting concerns along the Fishing Hole Road that leads into the Western District. These anonymous residents are unsure of who is responsible for the lighting issue, but they hope it's rectified soon.
We need more street lights. We need more lampposts and stuff. There's enough lights on it. Highway doesn't have enough lights because after the storm, half of the lights was off, the poles and stuff like that, and they never replaced them. Makes me feel like nervous because when you're coming around the curve and stuff like that, some people don't even stop to the curve and you could barely see when you come around the curve.
I mean, it should have more lighting because most of the time you drive on the road, the street's dark and the high beam all around, it could blind you, cause you drive bad and all that, but need more lighting.
Resident Rith Thompson has been living in West Grand Bahama his entire life and says proper lighting is a basic right.
Everything is be dark. You can't see good. Coming around the curve, you have to really slow down and take your time because you could probably get in a serious accident. Well, I believe the power company have to do something about that situation. Well, the government got to do something too because, this is the first year in House of Parliament, so you got to give them a little time so they could get out there and do something.
Another anonymous resident is pointing fingers at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. She says she fears driving after the sun sets because it's simply too dark.
The port and the government need to come to some kind of collective agreement. The port and the government had an agreement with the Hawksbill Creek Agreement and they're not abiding by it concerning the light on the Garnet Lavarity Highway. I just feel like the port need to adhere to the agreement. At night, traveling along Garnet Lavarity Highway is extremely dark, and the power company and the government, the power company, along with the port, at the end of the day, the port is still involved. So the port has to now sit down with the government and the Grand Bahama Power Company and have this issue resolved in terms of the light.
8 Mile Rock resident Cooper had a few resolutions.
The new lights what they put up, I believe, they ain't bright enough because they saying it's power saving power, but
if the light's brighter, it could prevent more or less accidents, as you're saying. Certain parts in 8 Mile Rock don't have no lights at all, especially when you're going down the Home Truck Bar area, the Home Truck West End Bar area, doesn't have no lights, as you're saying. And that's where the people is be speeding most of the time or whatever. So they really need to do something better with the lights for sure.
ZNS News reached out to the Grand Bahama Power Company to find out who's responsible for the placement of streetlights across the island, and they issued the following statement. Street lighting on the island is provided as a service to the Grand Bahama Port Authority, the government, and private developers for their respective areas. The statement went on to say that quantities and placement of lights are at the discretion and request of respective bodies. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Now to news from the court. 3 males arraigned in court today in Freeport on armed robbery and attempted murder charges. The first suspect, Cornell Beckles, age 19, of Tamarind Street, was arraigned before Magistrate Charlton Smith on the charge of attempted murder. He was not required to enter a plea as the matter is an indictable offense. The case was adjourned to August 14th for trial, and Beckles was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Beckles is accused of shooting a man in Hernley earlier this month. The other 2 suspects were hauled before the court on armed robbery charges. Danny Roll, 22, of Somerville Drive, and Tommy Roll, age 23, of Malibu Drive, appearing before Magistrate Charlton Smith on armed robbery charges. They were not required to enter a plea as the matter is an indictable offense. The men are accused of robbing a club on East Sunrise Highway last month. The case was adjourned to July 29th. 2 men from Abaco arraigned before the Abaco Marsh Harbor Court. 24-year-old O'Brien Rackley of Murphytown was charged before Magistrate Ansela Evans for causing grievous harm. He pled not guilty and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until trial that is set for June 18th. And 19-year-old Lucius Tomati of the Mud was arraigned before Magistrate Evans on charges of stealing. Now, he pled guilty and he is currently awaiting sentencing. Switching gears now, the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season is just over a week away, and given the challenges of the past 2 seasons, ZNS Northern Services took its community outreach program to the Southern District, today with the focus on hurricane preparedness. Our Sabrina Brown was there.
The morning radio show was broadcast live from the Wheatley Grant Empowerment Center in Hunters, with a focus on coastal communities in the Southern District. Researchers at Colorado State's Tropical Meteorology Project are predicting an above-average hurricane season, with 14 named storms. 7 could become hurricanes, 3 of which could be major. The Weather Channel's early predictions suggest a more average year, with 13 named storms and 6 hurricanes, 2 of which could be major. But whatever the predictions, Senior Meteorological Officer Kirk James says the important thing is to be prepared.
Residents should be aware of their vulnerability. They should know that. They should stock off on non-perishable items. They should clear any drains in the area, trim trees, easements, and the usual preparation we go through this year after year. And so make sure you have first aid kit. Make sure your insurance plans is up to date. Have a battery radio.
Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Iram Lewis, is also urging residents to be prepared. He says the government is taking steps to safeguard communities within the Southern District against tidal waves.
One of the ways that we are protecting these communities is by putting up defense walls or sea walls. We have had our structural engineers, our coastal engineers on island recently, and they have examined all of the settlements along the southern shoreline with a view of erecting seawalls. The height of the seawalls will be determined based on the elevation of the existing elevation and the exposure that the various settlements would have to the tidal surge.
Chairman of Local Government's Pinders Point Township, Jackie Russell, is calling on residents to lend a helping hand should a storm threaten our island.
Residents, I need you to volunteer your time. This is the time now for you to step up to the plate and assist your community. How can we help you if you don't help us? So Pinders Point Township Chairman is making an appeal to you residents to please volunteer your time. We will need you.
Pender's Point, Lewis Yard, Hunters, and Mactown are evacuation zones. Residents Marjorie Darville and Simon Lewis are advising residents to heed the warnings when a storm is approaching, as they know all too well the devastation a hurricane can bring.
I saw storm surge came over a 15-foot cliff. So therefore, I would urge residents to please, if there's a hurricane, please go to the shelter.
It makes no sense to be stubborn and to sit down here and you know the storm is coming. Let's get out and find someplace safe so that those who are out there trying to protect don't have to come and rescue you.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Rain or shine, there's one place that you can always depend on for emergency hurricane supplies or everyday items. Whether it's Ace Hardware, Housewares and Paint, or furniture and accessories from Rooms to Go, or Radio Shack Electronics. The one place that carries Craftsman tools, tablets, routers, computer networking supplies, generators, and so much more is right around the corner on Queens Highway. That place is Dolly Madison Home Center. Rain or shine. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Come on down now.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Mo Davis Beauty Zone. Be beautiful, be you. Located at #1 Britannia Mini Mall, Caravelle Beach.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Walker's Key in the Abacos is now sold and earmarked for development. Texas businessman and philanthropist Carl Allen is the new owner. While he didn't disclose any specifics as it relates to his development plans, he says that the goal is to restore Walker's Key and build a partnership and create jobs for Bahamians. Now, you may recall that the Walker's Key property was closed in 2005 after sustaining significant hurricane damage. In other news, the Yellow Elder organization hosting the annual ball this weekend. The ball is the first formal affair for the program that focuses on grooming girls into young women. Well, this year, the ball was held under the patronage of the wife of the Prime Minister. Italia Hall was there.
The 37th annual debutante ball was held at the Grand Lucine Resort on Saturday evening under the patronage of the Prime Minister's wife, Mrs. Patricia Minnis. Now, this year, there were a total of 12 debutantes participating. The evening was filled with elegance as the young ladies were presented to society with their escorts and rosebuds by their side. The debutantes and escorts first performed the Bleu Danube for the audience. Mrs. Patricia Minnis, during her address, told the young ladies and escorts that the choices they make during this period will determine their future.
It is important that you remain committed to being people of excellence. As you go about making the tough choices that come with young adults, always ask yourself, is what I'm doing leading me closer to my goal or further away?
She advised that in order to have a better Bahamas and a better Grand Bahama, Bahamians must begin taking responsibility for their contributions.
And if each of us, you young people, can be more efficient with your time, you will begin to transform our economy. Remember that you are not only competing with the students in this room and on this island, but in a global environment that requires you to be your best. Be early to rise in your studies, early in your commitments and in your meeting. Timelines requires the same discipline, consistency, and effort that success rewards.
Following her address, the debutantes and escorts performed the waltz. Presentations were then made, with Rhea Rose selected as the debutante of the year and Stacey Pinder Jr. as escort of the year. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And now to our weekly Generation Y report. Tonight we will feature a young man who experienced a tragedy at a young age, but through it all, he remained focused. And today he says he's committed to that dream. Italia Hall has more.
Dion McKinney is the former head boy of St. George's High School. He excelled during his high school years and walked away with some of the top awards. That is where he developed an interest in the business sector and went on to pursue a business degree, but soon changed his mind and changed his major to primary education. Dion says at that point he realized his passion.
Going into this business field, I just want a lot of money to help my family out. But at the end of the day, am I going to work and sucking my teeth every day? Am I going to truly enjoy myself? Is my life going to truly be worth waiting for? We're going to work every single day for years, umpteen years, and we're just going there and just getting paid.
But what you may not know is that Dion lost both of his parents. His mother died when he was just 12 years old, and his father died 1 year later. His mother died in a car crash, and Dion says he was supposed to be in that car, but God had it that he was not.
I'm surprised at myself that I did not trip, but I'm still here, and I believe it was only God. And like I said before, I wasn't supposed to be sleeping here. I normally go with my mom everywhere, but I think He kept me here for a reason. Every time you're on this earth, you're here for a purpose and you're here for a reason. And I think after she passed away, my mom passed away, I think I got very close. I built a very close relationship with God, and He led my life. Once I had Him at the front, He led my way.
But for that reason, he says through it all he remains focused on his passion and purpose, and encourages all other young people to do the same.
You may want to be in the funeral business, or you want to just be a hairdresser or whatever. As simple as it may be, go after your dreams, go after your purpose. That is the key word, purpose and work. Those are my two terms that I always live by, purpose and work. Once you follow your purpose and you're purpose driven, that's what encourages you to move forward.
What an amazing young man. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
This is Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Lawrence from Freeport inquired, "My wife has trouble falling asleep almost every night. What do you recommend for this?" Thanks for your question, Lawrence, and there are many others who have similar sleeping problems. Your wife has what we call insomnia. It is a sleep disorder where there is difficulty falling asleep and or staying asleep. Persons suffering from insomnia may also experience tiredness upon wakening, and if they wake up during the night, they have difficulty falling back asleep. Stress, certain medical conditions such as anxiety, depression, or sleep apnea, medications, caffeine, and nicotine can all have a negative effect on sleep. If left untreated, insomnia can pose serious health risks. Studies have shown that people with insomnia are found to miss work more often, have a higher risk of developing depression, and have overall poorer health. So here are some of my recommendations to prevent insomnia. Have a regular sleep schedule, avoid caffeinated beverages late in the evening, and avoid taking naps in the evening. If these simple changes don't help and you or your partner are still experiencing sleep problems, please discuss your symptoms with your doctor. Natural sleep aids and prescribed medications for insomnia are available. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. A check on sports is up next.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Welcome to Jags International. We have Celebration, Balearia, FRS, Bahamas Air, Hotel, car vouchers now on sale.
Girls, I tried book my ticket online with them ferry them. So complicated, they asking for too much.
That's why I stick to Jags. No agency fees or booking fees. Cash and credit, all the same. Blow deals and spectacular services with a smile.
Yes, that's Jags, your one-stop shop to Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Miami.
We even offer cheap car rental vouchers, Dollar, Thrifty, Hertz, and VIP service.
Book now with Jags and get their $5 discount card. And don't forget the super sales going on.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Miss something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
And topping sports this evening, the Grand Bahama Primary Schools heading to New Providence today to participate in the Frank Pancho Whamming National Track and Field Championships. Traveling is East Grand Bahama Schools, Holmes Rock and West End Primary from the west, Martintown, Bartlett Hill, Sunland, BMES, Walter Parker Primary, Freeport Gospel, Freeport Primary, and Tabernacle heading south for the competition. Now May 24th to the 26th at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Also, the Big 3 basketball tournament continues this afternoon at the YMCA Gym. The 8 Mile Rock Blue Jays and the Bishop Michael Eldon Warriors on court. That's at 3:45 p.m. The St. George's Jaguars, they will play in the feature. That's along with the Blue Jays and the Warriors. Also in sports this evening, the Ruby Walkers on the links Monday. Imalcus Heel shot an even par 36. Mark Knowles a 41. Freddie Bowe and Hanford Bain both won a 43. And that play continues on Friday. And the countdown is on to the Backyard Rumble Boxing Showcase, May 26th at a Social Affair Convention Center. Grand Bahama heavyweight boxer Sherman Tank Williams will step into the ring for the first time as a professional boxer at home. 6 exciting professional boxers on the card, and they will be represented by our Bahamian sons. And that is a quick check on sports.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Tonight, the Northern Edition. And this one goes out tonight to our very own Natalie Martinborough as well as Jai Martin. Hope you ladies are having a fantastic one. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Rolfe-Arkeson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on. Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. The third and final star in Bahamar's Phase 1 crown officially opens tonight.
The man accused of having unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor arraigned in court today. I've got the details coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
And what relatives of those killed in a plane crash off Andros are yearning for 4 months after the tragedy. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The Minister of Tourism does an about-face on his views of the Bahamar project. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, as the final phase of the Bahamar project prepares to open, making way for the employment of hundreds of Bahamians, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, is giving his full support to the property. Cleopatra Murphy tells us why the minister says today the property has his and the government's full backing.
Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, who was once a major critic of the Bahamar Resort, is now lauding the multi-billion-dollar property as the final phase, the Rosewood, opens this evening. De Aguilar once claimed resort owner Chow Tai Fook was unsuitable to invest in the Bahamas when the company made its bid after former developer Sarkis Merlion filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in June 2015, and after a court battle that ultimately saw Chow Tai Fook gain ownership of the property.
It's been a long journey, and those 200 plus rooms that are coming on stream today, it's wonderful news. It's a 5-star product. The top of the line, and so we're very excited today that finally the final piece of the Bahamar cake is falling into place, many billions and many years later.
De Aguilar acknowledges his position has changed, with the resort employing more than 4,000 Bahamians and that number expected to increase to more than 5,000. He says government's priority is to get Bahamians working.
When I offered those views, I was the director of a company that was run by the initial investor. And I was supportive of those views. But now I'm the Minister of Tourism, and I'm not looking after I'm looking out for all Bahamians. That asset has been built, concessions have been given. It's now time, no matter what my feelings were, to get that hotel open and Bahamians employed.
While some critics in the Progressive Liberal Party say the minister's administration is benefiting because the PLP saved the project, De Aguilar says they were responsible for its stall.
The economic impact of that was to the tune of $2 billion. So, yes, it's finally coming on stream, and yes, we happen to be in office when it's coming on stream, and yes, we are facilitating that coming on stream, but make no bones about it. They delayed the project, they caused the project to be delayed, and one can never forget the cost that has had to the Bahamian economy.
He says government is currently facilitating the process of Baha Mar coming fully on stream, and at the end of the day, Bahamians do not care about the politics of it, but are happy with the economic opportunity the 5-hotel property presents. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, speaking of Baha Mar, the Grand Hyatt's April 2017 opening set the stage for the opening of the SLS property, the second of 3 hotel properties at Baha Mar, expected to employ a combined 5,000 Bahamians. Now, months later, the SLS is open and welcoming guests. Tonight, Sieska Adderley gives a look into the SLS Baha Mar ahead of tonight's Rosewood opening.
For the past 6 months, Baha Mar's SLS guests have been receiving stylish luxury service thanks in part to its world-class amenities.
We have the wildlife sanctuary. We have an abundance of restaurants to choose from. We have Katsuya, which is our Japanese restaurant. We have an Italian restaurant called Filia, which is by the award-winning Miami chef Michael Schwartz. And we have Clio, our restaurant over here, which is Eastern Mediterranean. And then we have the Day Club, which is Privilege Pool, where people can enjoy the pool to music and a great DJ, a great vibe. And if you're the kind of person who likes to stay up late at night and go to a nightclub, there's no better place than Bond, our nightclub.
The 299-room resort is SLS's first outside of the United States and the second to open under the Baha Mar brand. General Manager Richard Alexander says since opening day, it's been a whirlwind experience for him and the more than 600 associates he leads. But he says it's well worth it to know that their guests are satisfied.
We opened in November. We went straight into festive, Christmas, New Year. We had good occupancy then. January, February, as you know, is the high season in the Bahamas. We had some great guests staying with us. And what is most interesting of all is the nature in which the local Bahamians have celebrated our opening. I'm delighted to say that many of our restaurants and bars are frequented by local Bahamians, and the feedback we're getting is very, very positive.
With the property welcoming guests on a daily basis now, Alexander looks to build upon its initial success by adding to guests offerings with a high-end steakhouse and the country's first rooftop bar. He's excited about the future and is confident that the resort will do well.
But I think what's unique about this particular property is that we're part of the Baha Mar family. You know, Baha Mar is made up of Grand Hyatt, that magnificent large property, Rosewood soon to open, which is the boutique, high luxury resort. And then ourselves, we're kind of considered to be the naughty child of the family. We do things slightly differently. We have more of an adult playground concept. So I think that's a really unique offering to any traveler.
So if you have plans to monkey around anytime soon, whether it's for a relaxing night out or for a full-out vacation, officials here at SLS want you to make a stop at the Monkey Bar. Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Sieska. On to other news now. Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer says the PLP's national naysayers will continue to downplay the country's progress because they don't see it benefiting them. In a statement released today, he said the facts speak for themselves, and under the FNM, the country is seeing investment, steps to reeling in wasteful spending, and a spike in tourism. He noted that the Bahamas is being recognized by travel groups known throughout the world, such as Expedia, which is reporting reporting a 30% increase in demand on both air and hotel rentals compared to this time last year. And year over year, he says, we're already seeing a 10% increase. He says this is true progress because the tourism dollar helps to elevate our overall economy and leads to more good-paying and secure jobs. Each and every day, he notes, the FNM is looking to take steps to improve the lives of all Bahamians and are seeing the results of those early efforts. Well, family members who lost loved ones in that deadly January 19th plane crash off Andros have a while yet to get closure. Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, says the investigation is ongoing after a Florida-based salvage crew flew to the island to collect the wreckage in February, which it took back to the U.S. The investigation is ongoing, he notes, and has meant that relatives have not been able to collect the remains of the 6 that died in that crash. De Aguilar gave this update.
I spoke to the Air Accident Investigation Department, and they told me that the investigation was ongoing. They have to wait for the insurance company in the States that's looking at the wreckage to finish their study and to produce a report, and all these things take time, and I think that they're waiting for that process to be done. Typically, they say the maximum period, this is what they inform me, this is what I'm advised, the maximum period these investigations can go on for is 1 year. So within 1 year, this investigation will come to a close, but I think they're still waiting for reports that they have no control over.
Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Foulkes, has addressed the appointment of former Bahamas Public Service Union President John Pinder as the new Director of Labor, stating it's a position he believes Pinder will serve well in. Former Director of Labor Robert Farquharson now takes on the post of Executive Manager at the Ministry of Labor, and Foulkes extended congratulations to both men who began in their new roles today.
He will be working directly with our permanent secretary and also directly with me as minister. I want to thank Mr. Farquharson for the excellent job that he has done over the years. He's made significant improvement at the department and also with respect to labor relations in the country. I also want to wish Mr. John Pinder well, and I look forward to working closely with him.
The minister says the change came after Cabinet decided that it was time to take the department in a new direction. He says with the exception of one person who was not part of the labor movement, directors have traditionally been a part of trade unionism.
They have all been fair to both sides, and I'm sure that Mr. Pinder would continue in that tradition. I am a trade unionist. I came up in the trade union movement as a member of the hotel union, but I try to be fair to the union and also to the employers at all times. And I'm sure that Mr. Pinder will do likewise.
After releasing the results of the Shantytown survey here in New Providence, Minister of Labor Senator Dion Foulkes says he met with leaders of the Bahamian Haitian community last week. Residents of the 10 shantytowns here in the capital have until July 31st to move before their unregulated structures are demolished. Foulkes, who chairs the Shantytown Task Force, says he'll meet next, with owners of the land where these unregulated communities have thrived.
All of the shantytowns are located on land that have the legal vested right in Bahamians. And I want to meet with them to basically give them notice of what we're doing and give them an opportunity to rectify the situation.
Now, while most of the residents in the shantytown communities have been determined to be legal, Mr. Foulkes says government has a plan for the way forward, which he's unwilling to disclose just yet.
We've been giving this a lot of consideration. I want to assure the Bahamian people that it is very precise and it is very methodical. It's going to be done in a methodical way. We're not going to be rushed and we're not going to be pressured. As you notice, 40% of all the residents in shantytowns are children. So we have to be extremely sensitive. Over 70% have the legal right to be in the Bahamas through different status.
Well, still ahead tonight, the University of the Bahamas has produced 100 new teachers. And a man charged with a sex assault on a minor. We'll have the story when the Bahamas Tonight, the national report continues. You're watching your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Leaded, designed for extra miles.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock, and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
This is what Christmas looks like when you have a Bank of the Bahamas Christmas Club account that gives you higher interest than any other bank. And this is what Christmas looks like without a Bank of the Bahamas Christmas Club account. Which type of Christmas do you prefer? We thought so. Open a Bank of the Bahamas Christmas Club account before June 30th and get more merry for your money.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Only at your Bank of Solutions.
Let's celebrate our islands. Cheers to the new world. The Hopetown Lighthouse and Bahama Parrot. Coral Gardens of Acklins and Crooked Island. Let's celebrate Andros. Let's celebrate the Grand Bahama Shipyard. Sport fishing in Bimini. The sweet sounds of Rake and Scrape. Eleuthera Sweet Pineapple. Our world-famous swimming pigs. Let's celebrate our national bird. Let's celebrate Long Island. Our sea turtles in Mayaguana. John Canoe. Let's celebrate Ragged Island. Click, the beer of the Bahamas, celebrating 30 years.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. A young man in his early 30s accused of having unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor and the assault of another was charged in the magistrate's court today. LaDon Davis was in court for the arraignments.
31-year-old Ricardo Burrows, seen on your screen wearing a blue jacket and a red shirt, was arraigned before Magistrate Swain in court number 11 on Tuesday afternoon with unlawful sexual intercourse with a 10-year-old girl between January 1st through February 2nd of this year here in New Providence. Burrows was not required to enter a plea to that charge. Additionally, Magistrate Swain told the courts that Burrows was also being charged with 1 count of indecent assault on a female between January 1st and February 8th of this year. reportedly placing his hand on her dress and attempting to touch her genitals. Bail was also denied, and Burrows was asked to apply for bail in the Supreme Court. His attorney told the court that Burrows was complaining of chest pains and refused to take his medication and is asking for medical attention as he is asthmatic.
Meanwhile, 31-year-old Ricardo Burrows was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and will return to court on August 9 for trial and a voluntary bill of indictment. From the courts, LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Well, 23-year-old Tavares Eneas, wearing a blue jeans pants and a black and blue long-sleeve shirt, was charged with the unlawful sexual intercourse or unlawful sex against a 22-year-old woman back in May 19th of this year. Eneas was not required to enter a plea to the charge and can apply to the Supreme Court for bail. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and is due back in court August 8th at 10 a.m. At that time, a voluntary bill of indictment is expected to be served. Also appearing in court today, 24-year-old Antonio Neely, who's seen here wearing a black and white top, and 24-year-old Dominic Stewart wearing a gray top. Both men, while concerned together on Tuesday, May 15th, allegedly attempted to rob Travis Johnson of $80. They were not required to enter pleas to the charges. Stewart and Neely were also charged with the attempted murder of Johnson on the same day. They were not required to plead to that charge. Meantime, Dominic Stewart was charged separately with robbing Sean Simmons of $400 on the 9th of May this year. Stewart pleaded not guilty to that charge. Both men have been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and are due back in court on August 8th. Well, some $10 million has been requested in the 2018 budget by the Ministry of Public Works for repairs to government buildings in Ragged Island and elsewhere in the country. This according to Director of Public Works Melanie Roach. During a recent press conference at the ministry, the director also gave an update on evaluations of private residences in Ragged Island and a design for the construction of new government buildings.
I received the initial report of the evaluation of the private residences this morning, and so I'm in the process of going through that so that we can make a recommendation to NEMA as to what assistance is to be rendered with regards to the private residences. We have established a project team in the Ministry of Works consisting of architects and engineers who will be further liaising with all of the various government agencies as to what are their requirements for the newly constructed. All of the buildings are going to be reconstructed. So there'll be a new school, a new administration building with post office and space for local government. There'll be a new clinic, a new residence, and a new police station with accommodations for the police.
In other news tonight, a new group of teachers officially joined the profession today following a commissioning ceremony. The teachers graduated after completing a 4-year course of study at the University of the Bahamas. Fern Carey tells us the new teachers are planning to move forward in the pursuit of excellence.
Over 100 University of the Bahamas trained teachers officially joined the ranks of that noble profession following a commissioning ceremony at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. University of the Bahamas Dr. Linda Davis urged the new teachers to make a difference in the classroom, both individually and collectively.
Reflect upon and take seriously the difference you can make in your classroom and beyond the reach of your classroom. My newly minted to be credentialed students, you have much to live up to. Your work is just begun. Yours is a huge task, whether in the early childhood environment, primary or secondary. You've committed to lead and to inspire. You are being commissioned and entrusted to make a difference.
Educator Shaquille Sands also encouraged the new teachers to push the limits in the classroom in order to enhance the educational system moving forward.
I have coached my school's debate team to the semifinals of the Bahamas National Debate Series for 2 consecutive years. And this was the first in my school's history. Despite being young, I am privileged to not only mentor my students that I teach, but over 100 students in our prefect body. As the youngest sitting chairperson of the prefect committee.
The celebratory occasion included a musical selection from the graduates and gift presentations to faculty who went above and beyond the call of duty. It was then time for the much-anticipated pinning of the graduates and a pledge by the new teachers to promote equity in education, to give strong support to all students, and to uphold the principle and standards of the noble profession. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
As members of the nearly 5,000-member-strong union prepare to head to the polls tomorrow to determine the union's new president, presidential candidate Darren Wood says unions in the Bahamas are facing attacks on various fronts, but says they must continue to advocate for workers' rights in the country. The Secretary General of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union says they'll continue to rise.
Well, we find that persons are trying to have unions deregistered. They are making it difficult for members or officers of the union to be able to operate. You're finding that they're trying to limit the scope of what the unions do. And for us, what we intend to do is do a better job at PR and things that we would do for our members and for the organized and the country at large. Because we believe that union has its place. There are social issues that we have to speak to. There are moral issues that we have to speak to. And even, believe it or not, there are some religious things that we need to speak to.
Well, Wood says the hotel union intends to be a more well-rounded union moving into the future, empowering its membership. With Labor Day approaching next week and the hotel union set to celebrate 60 years come December, the union official says the union still holds relevance in the country and are still very much needed.
Where you see a union in place, there are some benefits that matriculate to the wider public. Because when you talk about the work week, the union was the one who instituted the 5-day work week, as you see it now, the 40-hour. When you look at benefits that will be paid, vacation, holiday, and even for us, we have other benefits where persons get like their birthday off with pay and certain ham and turkey Christmas bonus. So unions has its place, like I say, and we are responsible for labor in the country. Labor in this country is at a very critical point because the workers in the country are really depressed, suppressed. So it is the union's job to look out for its members. We are to partner with the employers.
Well, we want to say a very special hello to our Facebook viewers. Trevor Bethel is watching from Maryland. Veronique Dean is tuned in, and Sandy Biggle says hello from the Bahamas. You can always drop us a line. Our official page, ZNSnews.com, the official page. Send us a line. Still, stay tuned. We'll be back.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scotterly. Delegates from regional tourism offices, government agencies, and other trade representatives will explore winning sales techniques during the Caribbean Tourism Industry Workshop as part of Caribbean Week New York 2018. The event will take place June 4th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Wyndham New Yorker Hotel. Under the theme Employing Successful Sales Strategies, this session is being facilitated by Moncherie Bridal CEO Steve Lang. Caribbean Week New York 2018 will also incorporate many activities, including a trade show and educational forum for travel agents on how to sell the Caribbean as a wellness destination. Representatives from the Bahamas are also expected to participate. In other business news, CEO and Managing Director at Milo Butler Group of Companies, Damian Butler, says the company has had 2 retail store openings, expanded its management team by 5, and added 2 new brands to the Milo Butler's wholesale grocery distribution business since assuming that post last May. Today, Milo Butler Group of Companies operates a robust wholesale distribution arm, retail outlets including Milo Butler Mart on Blue Hill Road and the Flying Dutchman liquor stores, along with a growing portfolio of real estate and investment holdings. Butler heads a team of 110 in New Providence and Grand Bahama. And in international news, China is cutting the tariffs it charges on imported cars, giving a potential boost to foreign automakers in the world's largest market. Today, the Chinese Finance Ministry said that it will cut import duties on passenger vehicles from 25% to 15% beginning July 1st. The announcement, which fulfills an earlier pledge by the Chinese president, comes just days after China and the United States agreed to a ceasefire in their recent trade hostilities. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly.
As you know, Flow in one form or another, whether it be cable and wireless, or the various other names that we've been known by over the years, we've been inextricably bound up to the Caribbean for the last well over 100 years. So it is almost natural for us to partner with an incredible event like the Flow Carifta Games. We like to think of the Flow Carifta Games as the Olympic Games of the Caribbean. And you know why. It's basically spawned a number of world-beating, world-class athletes from this region, and we expect it to continue to do so for well into the future. We're launching Flow Sports 2, a new channel. And this channel is going to be exclusive to Flow TV customers. And it's going to be full of world-beating sports content. The other thing we're announcing as well is that we're going to make Flow Sports 1, which used to be the old Flow Sports. We're renaming it now Flow Sports 1, and we're going to make that available to all of our Flow and BTC mobile customers. And it basically fulfills the mandate we've gotten from customers, frankly, to make sports and just overall video content available to them where they are, whenever they want it.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, fixed deposits, and preferred client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
The Amri Company has been around many years. We are one of the oldest computer company here on the island. We have a wide range of other products such as CCTV cameras, Promethean educational boards, ATMs and safes, and also we carry a wide variety of software products.
So this Canon is printed wireless color printer is valued at $99, but all of our live customers that come in and show us the app and they're part of the loyalty program will get a 20% discount. The Armory Company is an innovative leader in business and technology solutions, so we thought the partnership would be natural with Alive since they follow a similar mission.
According to statistics, the Bahamas is #1 in the Caribbean for childhood obesity. And with obesity leading to a number of ailments later on in life, the Cancer Society of the Bahamas Healthy Lifestyle Team has launched a campaign in hopes of raising awareness and combating the problem early. Team member Philip Swan talks about their goals.
One of our goals is to promote healthy lifestyles in children to prevent and end childhood obesity, and therefore halt the rise of non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and cancer.
Well, wife of the Prime Minister, Patricia Minnis, is also on board and signed the Healthy Caribbean Coalition online petition called Too Much Junk.
Spouses of Caribbean Leaders Association network, of which I am a part. The emphasis is on health and wellness, of women and adolescents in particular. I've become a part of HOLT in helping the promotion of the health and wellness of women and adolescents.
Family and friends of persons who lost their battles with the incurable disease lupus gathered at Fort Charlotte on Whit Monday to participate in a brief ceremony honoring their memories. Vice President of Lupus 242, Shawnee Johnson, said the initiative is part of the effort to raise awareness of the disease and fight for a cure.
Every May, we take the time to remember those who have lost the battle with lupus, and we do that by calling the names of persons who would have passed, and we remember them through songs, through tributes on this particular day. And today, what is unique about what we're doing today is we're doing a human ribbon formation to show the support and the magnitude of persons who would have been impacted by lupus, and to, of course, raise the awareness, which is a primary goal of our group, Lupus 242.
Well, the event, now into its 7th year, attracted a large group of participants, including students from Hope Academy, a major supporter of the initiative.
We do have Hope Academy, and that is the school that has been supportive of our cause for the past 3 years. And so their students have decided to come out to this event. Every May, they would wear purple, and they would, donate to the cause. Actually, one of their teachers lost a brother to lupus, and so the causes vary. They're very connected to the cause, and this is the way that they have extended their support to us today. I'm very happy with the turnout. More persons than we expected and anticipated, and every year it tends to grow, and that's a sign of the work that's being done.
Well, we're inviting you to join us immediately following this newscast for a message from Darren Woods, the outgoing Secretary General of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union. Again, that message will air immediately following the national newscast. It'll be aired on the program Nation Building with guest the Honorable Michael Pintard, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Now, I want to say another round of hellos to our Facebook viewers. Sandra Miller is watching from Hurley, New York. Devaldo Green, Douglas Boone, Lyndon Jennings, Magnola, Eden, and Sylvie. Thanks for sending us a line. You can again hit us up on our official ZNS page. Stay tuned. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. We're back after this.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
There are stamps for mailing, even rubber and ink stamps, but there's only one stamp that saves you money, and you only get them at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs 15-ounce can, $1.09. Whole chicken wings, $1.59 per pound. Rainbow corned beef 12-ounce can, $1.89. Libby whole kernel corn or sliced beets 15-ounce size, 99 cents. Sweet peaches, $1.99 per pound. Carolina Pride hams 10-ounce size, $2.99. Quality stamps only at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Buy Pampers and you can pin it to win it. Guess how many diaper pins are on display at Pritchard's? You could win up to $2,000 for the closest guess. Buy Pampers and pin it to win it today.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
All right, it's time now for a check of your weather forecast. We check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hey there, Basil.
Hi, Keisha. Right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 79 degrees in Freeport, 79 degrees in Toll Key, Marsh Harbor, Abaco at 81 degrees. You're in the capital, 80 degrees. Harbor Island, Eleuthera, Roxanne, Eleuthera, all at 79. Stanley Key, 80 degrees. Kemps Bay, South Andrews, Fresh Creek, and Central Andrews, also at 80 degrees. Otterstown, Cadallas, San Salvador, and Rum Key at 79. Georgetown, Exuma, 80 degrees. 80s again in Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Megwana, Acklands, and Ragged Island. Matthewtown, Inagua, 82, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwestern Islands, the winds are going to be southeast at 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights kind of moderate at 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Low tide taking place at 8:08 tonight. For the central and southeastern islands, winds southeast at 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights 4 to 7 feet. Caution flags are up for your boaters. And then we take you into tomorrow for the northwestern islands. Winds falling off a bit southeast at 10 to 15 knots. The wave height subsiding to the 4 feet. Low tide 8:49 in the morning, high tide at 3:02 in the afternoon. And for the central Bahamas tomorrow, the winds will be southeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Caution flags in place. For the southeast Bahamas, the winds even stronger at 15 to 20 knots. Also out of the southeast, and the wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean, meaning caution flags are up for the southeast Bahamas as well. And then on Thursday for the northwestern islands, southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights not bad at 2 to 4 feet, but that will be short-lived. You'll see that in a minute. Low tide at 9:46 in the morning. High tide at 4:02 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas on Thursday, wind southeast 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet. And caution flags continue for the southeast Bahamas as the winds will be southeast at 15 to 20 knots. And the wave heights rough at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Last night you gone to a party, come back with a hickey, you say mosquito do that. Conchita, that ain't no mosquito, it was something bigger, girl like smell a rat. Something just ain't right. That ain't no mosquito bite. Something just ain't right. Why you acting so uptight? Baby, I've been loving you so long, loving you so strong. Now I'm wondering.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 18 minutes.
Thanks a lot, Basil. We have another round of hellos for our Facebookers. Sylvie Salomon is watching, as is Monty Williams all the way from Santo Domingo, Raquel Young, Kenya McIntosh and family from Mastic Point, Andros, one of my favorite places. Alicia Lund, Veronique Dean, Eloise Humes, and Chantel Jolly all watching on Facebook. Keep sending us those hellos. We appreciate you. Stay tuned. There's more to come.
Welcome
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Skin cancer is a very common form of cancer. Almost all skin cancers are the result of too much exposure to ultraviolet light. This is found in sunlight, tanning booths, and sun lamps. Fortunately, it is usually one of the most preventable and curable types of cancer. A sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher is one important part of complete sun protection regimen. Sunscreen alone is not enough, however. Here is a list of skin cancer prevention tips. Seek the shade, especially between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Do not burn. Avoid tanning and ultraviolet tanning beds. Cover up with clothing, including a broad brim hat and ultraviolet blocking sunglasses. Use a broad spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher every day. For extended outdoor activity, use a water-resistant broad spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher. Apply 1 ounce or 2 tablespoons of sunscreen to your entire body 30 minutes before going outside. Reapply every 2 hours or immediately after swimming or excessive sweating. Keep newborns out of the sun. Sunscreens should be used on babies over the age of 6 months. Examine your skin head to toe every month and see your physician every year for a professional skin exam. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
It's the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza. Just buy these products and enter to win great gift cards or cash for your mom. There'll be 2 winners every week in the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza.
What's a smart way to refresh your home this season? Get inspired by Carpet and Cabinet World. See how easy it is to transform your living room and kitchen with our wide variety of flooring and cabinet options. We offer top quality in the latest styles in ceramic, porcelain, and wood. Did you know we're also fully stocked with state-of-the-art forward horizontal blinds? Stop by Cabinet World to explore the exciting possibilities with our customized cabinetry to suit your budget, style, and taste. Carpet and Cabinet World. We make it happen. Get your free quote today.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Tuesday. If you go based on the name bottom of the net, you probably won't be that interested in the tournament. But when you look at the teams that make up the field in the various age divisions, you know that your squad will be playing in a high-level tournament. The bottom of the net tournament designed to provide more play for younger basketball players, those who might not get the playing time even though they made the team.
Tournament was to bring 16 and under players, the ones that don't get the opportunity to play in senior games because they're grooming them for the next season. We wanted them to give them some playing times and, to develop them. So it's mainly about those players.
Are you pleased with the response so far?
Yes, we're very pleased for the first year. Actually, we're overwhelmed. We didn't anticipate getting this amount. We started off with 10 teams in the U16. The girls division, we started with 2 teams, but we want to grow that. The under 12, we had 4 teams. And the under 14, we had about 5 teams. So it was a good response.
Head coach of Prince William Falcons, Ernest Sanders, was happy to put his team in the tournament. He's using the tournament to make sure that his players remain sharp.
Keep the guys seasoned. Keep them in basketball mode, and the mind and rest, body and rest, everything else go with these boys. And most of all, I just want to keep them occupied and not idle. Keep them idle, these young guys, they get a lot of problems and a lot of trouble.
Mark Hanna also entered a team in the Whit Monday Holiday Basketball Tournament. Hanna, who coaches Donald Davis Royal squad, decided to go with the players in the 7th grade instead of those who will be graduating this year.
Older guys are preparing for examinations, and younger guys they'll be returning next year. So I'm trying to weed out who I'm going to pick for my team next year. To see, which level they are right now.
And how's that looking? How did they filter into your system?
Looking very good because this is our 3rd tournament together, and I get about 4 or 5 prospects. Most definitely will move up to my senior squad next year.
And how do you mesh all that talent together?
Well, we're going to play about 3 or 4 tournaments this summer, playing summer league, and we're going to just keep playing and keep working. And those ones who are committed and coming to practice and pushing hard, those ones will be on the team most definitely.
Practice continues for the women's national basketball team that is preparing for their regional showing in Suriname next month. First Vice President in the Bahamas Basketball Federation, Mario Boleg, likes what he sees thus far.
Well, the team mesh is yet to come because for years we've been trying to get Waltia to play, and she's finally committed. You look at her and Leasia Grant out in the 4 and the 5. I'm just using my scenario from what I'm seeing so far. And then you're talking about Ashley Moss, and then you got Valerie Nesbitt, like I say, and Pamela Battle. When you see talking about those type of players, they're quick, they're athletic, they're big, and can get up and down the floor. I think with Waltia, you have one of the biggest players in the Caribbean, will be there to protect the lane for them and knowing Wade Watson's style of play. If they put a little bit of pressure on the ball and Waltia is there to protect the rim, that can cause for some fast break and easy baskets for the style of play that I think they want to play. And then at the half court, you got Leasia Grant, who was unstoppable in the last Caribbean games, and now you got Waltia to work along with her side by side. So you look at a high-low offense, anything can work for them. I'm just speaking out of my head, but I know Watson. He'll find the right offense that will be able to suit the girls.
Swim coach Trevano McPhee is used to pacing up and down the deck of the pool, giving pointers as he coaches. But on Saturday, the young coach who headed the winning Carifta swim team wore a different hat. McPhee works closely with the parents of the swimmers in Mako Swim Club to ensure that their first meet was a success.
We have 2 teams in from Turks and Caicos. The stands are packed with our spectators. I'm very, very, very happy to see a lot of Bamans coming out and supporting our kids. This is the second to last chance to qualify for our nationals coming up in June. We have a lot of young kids here, so very happy with the turnout.
Are you pleased with the times they're swimming so far?
Yeah, the kids are swimming very fast. Right now, we're trying to qualify for nationals, so that's really the goal for some of the kids. But overall, very good turnout. Some kids are swimming 7 events, so it's kind of a heavy load for them today. But very fast times, very pleased.
There's a new king of the snappers. Hauling in 435 snappers was Edward Marshall, who took home the top prize at the Red Bay Snapper Tournament in Andros over the weekend. Even though it was an impressive haul, Marshall said he can double that on any given day.
Right now, I am one of the top fishermen, snapper fishermen on the island, and I supply as far as not just the locals in my community, but also as far as Nassau, Exuma, San Salvador. I supply. I have customers as far as San Salvador, and so a lot of them, they depend on me for these fish. And so that's why today I couldn't even sell as much as I wanted to, because my customers are dependent on me.
The Prefontaine Classic is the next big international track and field meet on the calendar, and Golden Girl Shawnee Miller-Weibo is expected to head the women's 400 meters. Miller-Weibo will be in the field of runners inclusive of IAAF World Champion Phyllis Francis and IAAF World Indoor Champion Courtney Okolo. Allison Felix will also run in the event. It will mark the first time Felix and Miller-Weibo go head-to-head since the 2016 Olympic Games, where Miller-Weibo won gold. The Prefontaine Classic is set for May 25th and 26th. Miller-Weibo ran a new world record on Sunday at the Adidas Boston Boost Games. She ran 16.23 seconds to win the 150-meter straight, erasing the previous record set by American Tori Bow last year. Also in the field on Sunday was Michelle Lee A. of Trinidad and Tobago, who was second, and Sasha Lee Forbes of Jamaica came in third. Dipping below the 20 seconds barrier to win the 200-meter straight at the Adidas Boston Boost Games on Sunday was national record holder Stephen Gardner. The world leader in the men's 400-meter, Gardner ran 19.88 seconds for the 200-meter win. The women's national volleyball team will also head to Suriname for their regional qualifier. Now that the collegiate players are home, head coach Covance Mortimer can add to his playlist.
We're actually hoping for the full 12 roster spots, and we'll go from there. So I leave it up to the federation executives to go ahead and decide if we can go ahead. But as far as me being a coach, I'm looking for a full 12 roster spot.
That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We wash it, suppress and clean the super. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your children clothes. Super wash.
Bounty and Charmin will have you winning and grinning.
Yes!
Buy these products and enter to win these prizes.
Nice!
Win and grin with Bounty and Charmin today.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
James Aubrey. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to Abaco.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartend, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS. Quick, I on television.
I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone. You just have to download the app.
All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over there.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, this area of low pressure in the Caribbean Sea has about a 0% chance of development at this time. And that's because we're having some strong sharing taking place in the upper levels, but that could all change as we approach the weekend. The reason being the high pressure ridge, which is anchored across the Bahamas, is expected to push eastward across the Atlantic, and that will allow for that sharing to relax, causing the area of low pressure to move northward. And by the weekend, we can see an increase in shower activity, particularly over the northwest parts of the country. Tonight, we are going in for mostly cloudy conditions with a morning shower taking place or two. Low temperature tonight getting down to 76 degrees. And then tomorrow, look like wearable cloudiness will be the nature of our forecast with some isolated morning showers, but things should improve as we head into the afternoon hours. High temperature getting up to about 84 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, mid-80s will be your daytime temperatures, mid-70s for the nighttime temperatures, isolated showers into Friday, but things will increase on Saturday as that area of low pressure in the Caribbean Sea begin to make that trek towards the north. And as we said, it will increase our shower activity. And right now we are about 9 days away from the start of the official hurricane season. So this is a good time to ensure that you have those pre-seasonal, take care of those pre-seasonal precautions to be sure that you are safe during the upcoming season.
I can't believe we're counting that down already.
9 days and counting.
Yeah. We want to say another round of hellos to our Facebook viewers. This person calls themselves Transportation Central, but they're watching from Ocala, Florida. Curtina Roll is sending a happy birthday shout out to Vanessa Charlton, Veronique Dean, yes, we see you, Savvy Benaby, Isu Kandoon Dorset, who is also saying hello and a good job to us. Thanks, Iso. And there's some more birthdays, right?
Yes, I would like to say a happy birthday to Silbert Clark and Daniel Colley. They're all celebrating their birthdays today. Basil, do you have any shout-outs?
None tonight, but I extend my happy birthday wishes to those that you shared it with.
All right. Well, that does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in tonight. Have a good one.